Why is it that two people can earn the same salary, live in the same city, even share the same opportunities? Yet after 10 years, one is broke and stressed, while the other is free and secure. It's not luck, it's not destiny, it's choices. This is the story of two friends who started the same but ended very differently. One spent, the other invested, and their lives became lessons for us all. There were two young men, David and Michael. They grew up in the same neighborhood, studied in the same schools, and even got their first jobs at the same company. Both were smart, hardworking, and earned the same salary. At the beginning, life looked the same for both. They were excited about their paychecks. They dreamed of freedom, of happiness, of proving themselves. But soon their choices started to separate them. David loved to spend. He bought the latest phone, the newest clothes, and took his friends out to restaurants. He believed, I work hard, I deserve to enjoy life now. Michael thought differently. He also wanted nice things, but he had learned something from an old mentor. Every dollar is a seed. If you eat it today, it's gone. If you plant it, it multiplies. So Michael saved a small portion. He started reading books about money. He learned how to budget, how to invest, and how to build skills. In the beginning, David looked richer. Michael looked boring, but time would reveal the truth. David quickly became known as the successful one among his friends. Every month, he showed off a new gadget. He went on vacations, but always on credit cards. He lived in a nice apartment, but it swallowed half his paycheck. He told himself, I'll save later when I earn more. But every time his salary increased, so did his lifestyle. More dinners out, more shopping, more debt. At first, everyone admired him. He looked like he was living the dream. But behind closed doors, bills piled up. Late fees, credit card interest, stress. The smile on his face started to hide the weight in his heart. He worked hard, but the harder he worked, the deeper his hole became. Money slipped through his fingers like water. He thought he was free, but in reality he was trapped. Michael lived differently. He didn't deny himself everything, but he lived simply. He rented a smaller apartment. He cooked at home. He avoided debt. Most importantly, he invested in himself. He bought books, courses, and learned about business and money. While David laughed at him for being cheap, Michael quietly built knowledge. Each month, Michael set aside money. Some went into savings, some into investments. He started small, buying a few shares of companies, investing in low-cost funds. At first, it didn't look like much. Friends teased him. You work just as hard as us, but you don't enjoy life. Michael only smiled. He knew roots were growing. While David's evenings were spent shopping or partying, Michael's evenings were spent learning, planning, and building. He wasn't showing off, but he was planting seeds. 10 years passed. David was exhausted. He was still working in the same job. His paycheck came in, but it left just as fast. He had no savings, only debts. And now he had a family to care for. More responsibility, but no foundation. He envied the young workers in the office with their fresh energy, but he was stuck, trapped by bills he could never escape. Michael, on the other hand, was different. He still worked hard, but he no longer depended only on his paycheck. His investments had grown. His money was working for him. He had built multiple streams of income. He wasn't just surviving, he was thriving. He could travel, spend time with his family, and even help others. Most importantly, he had peace. The two friends, who once looked the same, now lived in completely different worlds. One day, David, frustrated and tired, met the old mentor who had once guided Michael. He asked bitterly, "Why is my life so hard? I work just as much as Michael, but I have nothing to show. And he is free." The old man smiled kindly. "Do you remember the seeds I once spoke about? Money is like a seed. If you eat it all, it is gone. But if you plant it, water it, and wait, it multiplies. You, David, ate your seeds. They were sweet in the moment, but nothing remained. Michael planted his seeds. At first nothing showed, and you laughed at him. But now his harvest is here. The difference is not in luck. It is in choice. You chose to spend. He chose to invest." The old man's words cut deep. David realized that his life was not cursed by fate. It was shaped by his choices. And so is yours. Two people with the same money, same background, same opportunity. One ends broke, the other free. The difference is not the money, it is the mindset. So ask yourself today, are you eating your seeds or planting them? Do you chase comfort today or freedom tomorrow? Money itself is neutral. It's not good or bad. It becomes what you make of it. If you spend it, it disappears. If you invest it, it multiplies. Choose wisely. Your future self is watching. This is Rise Within. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And follow a Rise Within 7 for more motivational stories about money, life, and strength.